like if you're in, like when you're really into something and you don't step outside of it, you don't necessarily see it completely. And when I got that call to go to Ohio, and I looked around, I thought, what do we really need? And I put together this little bundle of math and language arts stuff, and then I left the rest. If you're new here, my name is Jocelyn, and I am a first-time homeschooling mom to a kindergartner and first grader. My daughter is 4, and my son is soon to be 6 and a first grader. I am back. August was a little bit intense for us, a lot of it intense for us. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how our August went, and also what we've been up to so far into September, and what our September is going to look like. We have some big changes going on at the moment, and in my last video I talked about how our first 2 weeks of homeschooling went, being that the first week was super easy and simple, and then the second week I decided to give us the Mount Everest of homeschool weeks, and that did not go well at all. Shortly after that, I got a call that my dad was in the hospital in Ohio, so we actually bought last minute tickets to Ohio to check on him, make sure everything was going well with him, and just, spend some quality time with everybody. And everything is okay now. He's out of the hospital, family is doing well, so we are back on island. But in this video, I'm going to talk about what I did take, because we had just started school and I really didn't want to lose that, routine of doing schoolwork every day. I took some light work up there, some math and some language arts, because as you saw in my last video, I just want to make sure that we do math and language arts, keep consistent on that. Those are our core subjects right now. So bear with me. It is like super hot here right now. September is crazy hot. It's probably like almost 100 degrees in this house right now. And we got the call that we were going to go up to Ohio. I didn't want to pack. We were doing pinwheels and we were doing math with confidence, and that is just too much, in my opinion, to pack up and go with. I actually sat down and was trying to figure out some math worksheets for the kids to do, to just kind of keep the review fresh in our brains of what we had been doing. And I actually found, when we first started homeschooling, I had looked into doing the Good and the Beautiful, and very quickly realized that it was not going to be a good fit for us long term. But I had downloaded the Math Level K and Math Level 1, and I went back to it and I looked through that for worksheets, because they do allow you to download the math for free. I thought, this is perfect. I'll just print out a couple pages for the kids to do. I wasn't looking to introduce any new concepts, because I really like our Math with Confidence and how it introduces things so far. So I just wanted to keep it light and keep it, just doing daily math. When we first went up, I wasn't sure how long we were going to actually be up there. So I printed out 20 lessons for each of them. So for my daughter, I did lessons 1 through 20, which is just number review, counting review, coloring, identifying colors, simple stuff like that. She enjoyed it. It was easy enough for her. We would wake up in the morning, go do our work, and it was so nice. Here we're traveling between 2 places at the moment, and so we stay with family. So we'd wake up in the morning, we'd go outside and do our work. We'd go eat breakfast outside. It was really nice. So anyway, so we did the Good and the Beautiful, just 20 pages of light work. We got through 10 lessons. We only did 10 lessons. So, and then for my son, I did lessons 21 through 40. Most of the stuff that he knew how to do anyway. Math with Confidence and the Good and the Beautiful are like totally separate, opposite programs, at least from what I've seen so far. And they introduce things at a different rate, and in a different style. So I just went and did Level K 21 through 40 for him, and it was just easy review, like small addition, 1 plus 3, 2 plus 4, stuff that he already knows, but just good for review. So that is what we did for math, and that's it. And then for language arts, I did bring our Explode the Code and Get Ready for the Code books. that was the easiest language arts to travel with. Before we left, my daughter had been working on pinwheels and the short vowels, so we were getting through our short vowels still. So what I did is I made a card game. So I just printed out the short vowels, and then we would just play a different game every day. We would either do the Explode the Code books, or we would do like a scavenger hunt. Like I would give her the U, and then I have a bunch of pictures, and I would, put out certain pictures, and I would tell her to go find words with the sound in it. So a CVC word basically with the sound. So I would put out, sun, pin, and bed, and I would go, put them out, and I'd say, go find the sound. And so she would bring me back the sun. So that was one of our games. We would do scavenger hunts, sorting pictures, would lay out the vowels in a line, and then I would say match the picture with the short vowel sound. And this just helped her practice with, listening for the short vowels and CVC words. And then of course my son wanted to play the games too, so it was just practice for the both of them on listening for the CVC words. So that was fun. And then I also did a number of sentences where I would say, for example, Ben met Meg and fed them bread. And then she had to clap or jump or, hopscotch every time I said the short vowel E, for example. We also took advantage of the libraries while we were there. So we don't have a library here. It got destroyed in 2017 in both Hurricane Irma and Maria. And so all of the books that I get here, I have to bring in or do online. So it was very nice to be able to go get, a number of short vowel books from the library, and we would just read a book for the day, about short vowel I. For my son, though, we did do some practice with some handwriting. I went to Target and I bought these dry erase, and I would just write a sentence. We would write his name, and I would write a sentence, and he would just practice with dry erase. And I think, honestly, that was it. That's all we did for school. It took us maybe 20 minutes, and then that was it. And we would go about our day. We did go to parks, did a lot of nature walks and adventures through the parks. Like I said, we went to the library. We visited lots of family. We cooked. We hung out. Even if you are a Midwesterner or a roller coaster buff, we went to Cedar Point. So that was super fun. And I'm just going to go ahead and say we studied physics for the day with that one. Yeah, it was a good time. Obviously, the circumstances for going, I forgot. So I had purchased the readers from All About Reading Level 1. They are recommended readers for pinwheels. And I had found somebody selling them in my area up in Ohio and had my mom go pick them up. So when we got there, those were actually sitting in a box waiting to come down for us. So my son actually took the first reader from All About Reading, and he would go read to my dad in the hospital every day. So that was really special, and he's very proud of himself because he finished the first book. So that was pretty exciting, and that's like their thing now in those. So that was it. So we had the short vowel games, we had the dry erase board, we had Explode the Code, and then the Good and the Beautiful math worksheets, and that was it. That was perfect. So that was our schooling in August. We had our routine at the beginning, and then that went away, and so now we're back, and now we are into September. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, there are big changes there. So everything has changed in September, and it's not because of circumstances of having to leave or curriculum or anything like that. But I am actually a substitute teacher, and one of the preschools has called 2 days before we came back from Ohio, called and asked if I could come for one of the teachers that had a family emergency. So we got back, and then the next day I was subbing at a preschool, and so that will be for the entire month of September. And I can take my kids, and I have a 2-hour lunch break, and I took our pinwheels and I took our math with confidence, and we are doing that on our lunch break. So and it's actually been going very, very well. I think that I needed the break. Like if you're in, like when you're really into something and you don't step outside of it, you don't necessarily see it completely. Um, and when I got that call to go to Ohio, and I looked around, I thought, what do we really need? And I put together this little bundle of math and language arts stuff, and then I left the rest. Build Your Library is going to have to wait until after we leave the preschool. Blossom and Root's going to have to wait. Having that simple, there was nothing else there, and it was just easy. And it made me realize, like, we don't need all of this extra stuff. Obviously, we have to adhere to what our state requires. But at the end of the day, like, simple wins. It was so much less stress, and the kids weren't stressed out, and I wasn't stressed out, and it was effective. It did what it needed to do. On that note, our September is very busy between working full time and extracurriculars and just life in general. I mean, this is literally like the first 5 minutes I've had to sit down and make a video since the beginning of August. So it's been a little bit crazy, but I do enjoy making these videos, and it is kind of my outlet. So thank you for watching and joining me on this journey. It has been not what I expected so far, but we are having a good time, and I hope you are having a great week, great month, great day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Thanks for watching.